the Ayefkay community panel. This time it's personal. I know it doesn't seem like we've been more personal than last year, but
I suggested personal.
yes. Well, first up, if you don't know us, I'm Sennohki. We've got fishfishmonkeyhat, Captain Wasabi, Duckie, Ayefkay, and agentcooper. Before we start, Fish has some housekeeping.
Did anyone lose a DLC pin in the line yesterday morning in front of Mitch Light? I've got your backing cardboard there. See me after the panel. Get back to you.
Cool. So, lame jokes ahoy. Okay, so, well, I can kind of see you guys out there. Hands up if this is your first PAX. Nice. Welcome.
Yay!
And I'm guessing that means you're just getting into pin trading. Keep your hand up. Awesome. So, we're going to start off with some stuff pretty specific for you new guys. Along the way, we'll have some stories, Fish's Vines, we'll have some Q&A, some giveaways at the end maybe. Well, you've got tickets, it'd be a shame not to give you something, right? So yeah, we're going to be a little bit more informal this year, have a bit more of a chat. So, Fish, how do you get started with trading?
So many places, Coop.
Well, before we do that, most of you guys, you weren't here last year. Let's do a quick recap. I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed.
I had to actually interpret what I said. It took me about 10 goes, like, I'm not into Pokemon.
I'm sure I don't thrill. Yes.
I'm just constantly ashamed, so it's fine. So how do you get started?
The easiest way is to track down vendors. The vendors here giving out pins. Who's been around and actually bought some pins this year? Pretty much all the pins this year are all purchasable. There's some tricky ones in there, but otherwise, yes. So we'll start with the core set. They're the easiest ones to get, the most available. You can grab them from any of the merch booths. They're $35 per set. I don't think I've often run out of those before, have they?
Only Oz 13, I think.
Yeah. Good luck finding Oz 13 sets. We've got the limited edition Polygon pin. They've probably sold out by now, so you've got a chance to get 400 of those tomorrow at the merch light booth only. They're $20 each. Probably good to get there early if you're still after one of those. The Super Mario Brothers set. They're available at both merch booths. They're they're $40. Yep, $40. It's the first time they've done a pin with Nintendo, so if you like Nintendo.
We're also selling a $5 Super Mario Land.
Is it $5 or $10?
$10 now?
And there's also a lanyard for $10. It was a bit of a surprise for all of us.
So merch does still have some of the older sets too, like the Armageddon set. I'm going to unbox something here and see what we can get.
This is an official unopened box.
Yeah, it's unopened.
Break the seal.
Fine, we'll just have a bite instead, right?
While he does that, let's look at it.
It was not too long.
Whole second.
It was too long.
Whole second.
What have we got?
We have Splatter Anarchy and Splatter Gay. Yay! More fun. It's good if you don't have them.
Alright, then we've got our third-party pins. We'll start with the Alienware. Good luck getting this one. This is the hardest one to get this pack. So they're giving out some at what were the times? Were they giving them out at?
3 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Basically, they're giving out merch bags with that pin, and we've missed the panel. You can at this point to actually grab one. So you basically got to hang around their panel at their booth at that time and ask a good question. And if they like it, they'll give you the merch bag with the pin in it. Oh, we've got loading ready runs. Tuggernuts goes down under. That's just available at their booth in Bandland for $15.
They've also got their older ones as well.
Oh, yeah, yep.
So if they're doing it.
Muffin.
They're 20.
Oh, no, yeah, 90. How many pins?
Yeah.
Yeah, for $90, you get all the pins, so that's a good deal.
And the legacy ones are $20 each.
Okay, $20 each.
And Chris Stroud is next to them with his pin.
Getting there. They're on the list. This is all the staff pins you can pick up through the show. Your best opportunity was yesterday at the staff trading. So that's your best opportunity. It's not your only opportunity. Agent Cooper's got some handouts. If you don't know who the staff are locally yet.
Question, because Robert's not here, does anyone know if anyone has a
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
They'll always, like at the staff training, there's always someone carrying around ex-employees' pins, or usually.
Also ask if merch light.
Yeah. To keep some of the extras there. And yeah, like I said, Cooper's got a handout, so if you don't know who any of the staff are and who matches up with what, you
Yeah,
can
that
grab
one
one
on me, but yeah.
grab one from him afterwards, and it's got like photos of what they actually look like in their 3 or 4 sets of pins at this point.
Can Senator, can we just flick back to the very first line?
The very
start,
first.
the 3 lines on it.
Oh,
No, back, please. Back, yeah.
continue back.
That's that, yeah.
Continue back.
So yeah, so staff trading is Chris was just saying there, yesterday, and then you try and catch up with them, during the show. You'll see those the little badges from the cartoon strips or from the web comics. Community trading too. So community trading is 3:30 to 4:30 every day. It's pretty much below us down here at the back of the queue hall. So you look for there's some sort of large banners there that sort of say, trade here, 3:30, 4:30 daily. And you can sort of meet up with anybody. It's just come along and have a chat and see what you've got and what you'd like, and you can sort of go from there. And what was the last one? Sorry, what's the next one? Just PAX Aus, yeah, okay, yeah, just would definitely say anything you can grab here, is better value than say getting it from the PA store. So the US AUD conversion isn't quite exact. The pins are better value here. So if you're thinking about buying something, like you'd be able to get Nintendo sets on the store, but it's better value to buy it from here now. So if you're sort of in 2 minds, I would suggest you get it now rather than later. So.
Also the Armageddon and the summer campus set.
Armageddon, yeah. It's not a great deal, but it is definitely
And you save on
tangible.
And you save on shipping.
Oh, yeah, my God, the shipping is anyway. Yeah.
Cool. So let's have a look at trading pins. Cooper's already talked about the community trading events. You can see there that somebody's going to be set up in the trade zone from 3:30 to 4:30 each day. So you want to trade pins, but what do you actually want to collect, Duckie? What types of
Skipped AFK.
Oh, did I skip AFK? I'm
Yeah.
sorry, AFK.
He's going to talk about trading at PAX.
Go for it. Trading at PAX.
Okay, I'll get ready for this. So just a little bit of info about trading at PAX and racing PAX. There are many ways you can go about it. The aim of this hobby that we really found interesting is to meet new people and trade with each other, and you discuss your things that you have extra, and get new things out of that. And obviously you make new friends as a result. So at PAX, all you need to do is find people with a lanyard or a bag with things on them, and just don't be shy and ask them to trade. If everything goes well, you have made a friend and get a new pin as well. So, just a few rules about trading. Just because it's on somebody's menu doesn't actually mean it's for trade. Some people might like to just display their things, ones that they like, but not necessarily on trade. So it's always important to just ask them before obviously throwing at them or touching anything. And finally, trade responsibly. The goal is to make sure both parties are happy. So don't expect somebody to accept a handful of fodder for a DLC.
But 2 handfuls of fodder.
Possibly.
So back up a minimum?
It's a good start.
Cool. So, which type of collectors are there? Duckie?
Okay, so there's several types of collector, and you can be from each, like, more than one group. So to start off with, you've got your active collectors, who are ones who are just highly active within the community and not necessarily confined to just trading at PAX. They get involved on the Pinny website and Slack and all of heavily involved in the community year round. Then you've got your casuals who are very easygoing, laid back. It's just about having fun and getting the pins that they want.
I said last year I'm a casual.
You don't have to try and get every pin in order to enjoy it, and we kind of recommend not doing that. Save yourself now. Then you've got the enthusiasts who want to get as many as possible, but aren't, hell-bent on making sure they have every single pin and all the variants, and they just sort of go at their own pace, which is great.
Guilty.
Yeah. And you've got your connoisseurs who have defined collections, so maybe they just collect all of the Kemper pins or all of the Gabe pins or only from PAX Aus, or they have shrine lanyards which are dedicated to just one single pin.
What does that look like?
Wiggles work.
And learning as well.
It'll be the last fight you ever see, so enjoy it.
And then you've got the hardcore completionist collectors who want every pin that ever comes out. And if they do a reprint with a different year variant, sometimes people have to have all of those ones as well. I don't know anyone like that at all.
They're trouble. Just keep away from them.
So, so what is the best way to trade? Ayefkay kind of touched on some of the rules and ethics, that sort of thing. So, what else can we cover there?
Yeah, recapping on what Ayefkay said, always ask first before you sort of reach out and start trying to touch people's lanyards and things. It can be quite disconcerting to have someone's hand suddenly shoot towards your chest. And yeah.
I don't mind.
Just because people have pins on a lanyard, like I said, doesn't mean they're for trade, but that doesn't mean they have no pins for trade. Some people keep their pins inside their bags, so lanyards can be just an indicator of the fact that they are a trader, and feel free to come up and talk to me. Always be polite. I suppose it boils down to Wheaton's law, just don't be a dick. And finally, be reasonable. Obviously, pin value is highly subjective. What one person values highly, someone else might just be like, but don't expect just because you are kind of attached to your pin, the other person to give you a huge amount for them. And don't be scared to walk away if someone's requesting 10 pins for one of theirs and you kind of feel like that doesn't seem fair. Just, feel free to say no. know there'll be someone else with the pin for you.
Cool. So I've got a bunch of pins. I've gone home and PAX Regrets sitting in. How do I trade them?
When PAX is all over, there are a couple of ways you can go about trading and engaging with the community online. Firstly, we got the Pinny Pals section of the Penny Arcade forums. This is just a place where a sub-forum of the forums where you can talk about anything related to pins or trading or PAX or
This is basically where we all meet each other through
Yeah.
the official forums.
it's also a great place for information about which pins are coming out or when is the next pin drop. Trading is as easy as sending a person a message and just waiting for them to reply. Then we got the mobile apps, which are WhatsApp. We use most commonly WhatsApp and Slack. I would recommend this as the best way to engage with other people in the community from all around the world. On a daily basis, I talk to them all the time. It's just a great way to make friends, keep the PAX sort of feeling going across the year. And then finally we got the pinnypals.com website, created entirely by George Monkey over there.
We love you, George Monkey.
It's a really great tool for keeping your collection online and showing what pins you want and what pins you can have to trade, and you can trade with people via that website. And also another thing I would really recommend. Captain, if you want to talk about it a bit more.
Yeah, sure. So if you are if you just go back to slide.
Starting strong.
Great start. If you are on a Penny Pals, there's a little code there. If you want the little patch or the stamp for attending this panel, you just punch in the RIP Vine into pennypals.com/panel.
Because collecting pins isn't enough.
Oh yeah, good. So firstly, who am I and why is George Monkey here? So when we were planning the panel, we found George Monkey just rocking in the corner, backwards and forwards, saying too many pins. So I've kind of decided to step up and help out. So who am I? My name's Captain Wasabi. Thought I'd give myself a quick intro. First time on the panel. I'm a pin trader. Been pin trading now for about 3 years. First pin was a merch pin. First one's always free, right? I don't really remember much about the first few years. It's a bit of a blur. I mean, I was looking out for trades anywhere, trading with everyone, anyone. Always on the lookout for a sweet trade. Hanging out
trade was too dirty.
No, always hanging out for a pin drop. But as a result, I learned to use pennypals.com pretty damn well. And for almost 2 years, I had the most trades on Pinny Pals. And that's why I'm up here on the panel. But as soon as I was asked to be up on the panel, I got bested. So I'm no longer number one.
Who is number one now?
Fancy.
Betsy Maho.
We videoing this? An insane Texan.
Just wave the white flag.
I give up.
I did that 3 months ago.
No one should do that many trades.
There's something wrong with people. Anyway, so I had to do a bit of soul searching. First sadness, then anger, finally acceptance. And then when I found those emojis, I was good. With pennypals.com, trading can be a year-round, life-consuming obsession. So don't worry, it's not just for PAX. The basics, they print all the pins in China, but they're not all equal. We'll talk about
about trading online is if you want to make it work, you got to make lots of offers. It's not just about the board or the wants board. I reckon probably for every 10 offers I make, we maybe talk about one, and I get a response for 1 or 2 out of 10. A lot of people, you know, they're not pin crazy, they want to do other things, I get it. But yeah, people are busy, so it's all about sending out quite a few offers and being prepared to talk.
Actually, it's actually worse than 1 to 10.
Do you know the stats?
I didn't, of course, I didn't get a final. I'm going to do a year thingy. What is it? Year in review, but it's worse than 1 to 10.
Just a quick little thing with that is too, you can see when they last updated, which is sort of gives you a guide too. Say 6 months, you know, you probably don't care. So.
Pinter is particularly bad. People get absorbed in work and life and things, and I know that
Distractions, sorry, life.
yeah, having babies, and so they don't necessarily log in all the time. So just because someone hasn't replied for a month or 2 doesn't mean that they don't care. They just haven't gotten around to looking at their profile lately.
You can ping them on Slack.
Yeah, ping them on Slack.
Yeah.
Anyway, just jump back. A couple more tips. The trading posts, because people can post up, I want to trade, I'll swap it for this. You know, they're not always fair. Been up there for a while, that might be, so they've a really bad view of, you know, what might be a good trade. If you go back one more, you can actually click on a pin and find out what it's traded for recently and try to get an idea of what would make a good trade and what's not worth sending. A couple more tips if you jump on forwards. Yeah, especially during PAX or after PAX, it takes a while to work out which pins are the really desired pins and which aren't. So there's some pretty crazy trades you've got to do straight after PAX. And yeah, it takes a few weeks to work out how, you know, uncommon or desired a pin is. And the other thing I really found is people will reject trades online that you would happily do at PAX. It's just you're not in the swing of it, and people can go, "Do you really want?" I don't know.
Postage for it.
Oh yeah,
Do
postage. Do I really want to
pay
trade?
$25 to send 1 pin to the United States?
Actually, you can do it for about $3.50 to get a small.
Not with 10 times, can
No,
Yeah.
no, with Tim's.
I
You
always
can
send
put the
$25.
individual packets in one.
Yeah, I used to put the fun size packs in, you could still get it in the poster at $4. Cool, so, okay, you've convinced me I'm going to trade. What are my pins worth? It's a good question. Who wants to jump in?
I'll start. Yeah, so basically, yeah, how do you sort of value a pin? And you know, there's a few different ways you can sort of think about that. And yeah, personal value, what does it mean to you? Was there some sort of special experience associated with that? And probably if that was the case, you wouldn't want to part with it. Yeah, market value there. As in, you know, you might sort of look at places like eBay and so forth, and or even just they might be being sold online and at the actual from the vendors themselves. And so there's a market value. Yeah, and
We've got personal value twice there, but
yeah, that's cool.
Because
It was like
it's
basically,
value.
basically, or even market value, even what you can buy for today. So you can go buy today $15. You say, well, you got a 15, I got a 15. That's the same like today.
Yeah.
But the last one I think I sort of want to go with is the time value. Like it's not as bad here, but at some other PAXs, I mean, like time value, Alienware is the harder one to get this time. So you either had to spend time maybe in the queue to get one at the panel.
They'll give you one if you buy a PC.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I had one of my friends talk about $3,200, it's yours. And
I spent $3 grand on a PC.
okay. Or maybe you've got to spend time looking at social media or going to try and do something with them. So there's that sort of, there's a value associated with that as well. It's not easy. So you might sort of trade up. So you might sort of think this, oh well look, you know, I spent an hour, maybe in my head I'll say, well you bought 2 pins, I'll do that. So it wouldn't be sort of the same as maybe one bought pin maybe. So that's up to you. Yeah, IP popularity, so you've got Hearthstone, you know, versus say Super and Sun there. So IP popularity, yeah, Blizzard pins, obviously a lot of people play and love Blizzard products and they probably want to keep those pins. Whereas if you don't have that same sort of personal connection or history with that company, you're probably more likely to part with it and it doesn't mean as much to you. So like Naughty Dog 30 years, we probably all love Naughty Dog, but yeah. No? Yeah, we'll just jump back quickly, sorry. So yeah, purchase pins, time sync or free. Yeah, chase pins. Okay, last year we had a chase pin here, if you were here, for like, literally chase maybe the Twitch.
Yeah.
So that was,
Easy.
again, not as bad as some others, but from North America, but still pretty bad. So again, you probably think, I just ran for this and I tracked that guy down, and no, you got to give me a lot for this, or I'm just keeping it. So, yes, aesthetic appeal, yeah. So, yeah.
So what you're saying is that there's pretty unicorns and there's...
Yeah. So it doesn't sort of look like it was put in a blender.
There's
Still
unicorns
like
only
it.
a mother could love.
Yeah, it's kind of like Vegemite, I suppose. It's an acquired taste, I think, that second bit. Yeah, so exactly, do you just like the way it looks? And then, yeah, limited editions and so forth. If you do know it's a smaller run, or it's like, I think, Hannah was sold online, it was sold out fairly quickly, I think. It's one of the more popular ones. And it's very hard to find, limited run, and also desirable. So it's a bit of a combination of factors that you don't see them coming up too often. And yes, the runs has gone as low as 300, that's the DLC. So, and another quick one might be at the moment the Triad Wars pin. So there's kind of a mixed bag of how people acquire those or not, and whether there's any more out there or not. So
I've actually seen a couple here this show, so they are out there.
Yeah, a couple of examples of trades there, as a couple of Masada was saying. Different times, I didn't include the times there, but giving a Nissa pin, so Nissa was available here last year, it was a time sync pin. You had to maybe play a card game, maybe.
It's good for everything together.
Yeah, exactly, yes. You get photos or something, so. And there was a few trades that, that's an example of, the history you can sort of dig up on Penny Files, see, so I've got this pin, go to the pin, go to the history tab, and look at what's happened already. And it'll tell you when it's happened too, because as George pointed out last year, as time moves on, maybe things are either becoming less or more desirable, and that can sort of weight what the pin is worth. Yeah, and just summary there, yeah, so how popular sort of a brand is it? Yeah, how do you actually acquire the pen? So you just got to go and buy it. It's easy. I suppose if you're here, if in North America, I guess it'd be slightly more desirable. Yeah, there's other things. Yep, I've got to keep moving. Yep.
Do you have to keep moving?
We do.
Let's take a quick intermission.
Water break.
Thank you. I just had it stuffed.
Let me help you with that.
Thank you. I just had it stuffed.
Let me help you.
Anyone probably born in the 90s wouldn't have a clue. Yeah, sorry. Katie Rice's Haunted Beaver. Yeah.
So we do like our puns. So let's get personal for a little bit and find out what everybody's favourite pins are. Mine's Jerry's Boss pin from 2013, Zombie Tiger. It's 2012, 2013.
Obtained in 2013.
It was obtained in 2013 at PAX Aus. And that's why it's my favourite, because we were walking down a very cold, wet, smudgy tent, and all of a sudden my wife screams out, "Jerry!"
Yeah.
And we met Jerry, and that just stands out for me, and it means something. What about you, Coop?
Yeah, Draffy, look, who can't, like, tongue sticking out for a start, that's a winner. Bulgy eyeball, I mean, and it is actually, you just can't appreciate art, it's okay. And it's a giraffe, which is cute as, and they are surprisingly hard to find, at least in my experience anyway, so lovely thing, yeah. Behemoth.
Duckie?
So my favourite is Handheld Lounge Gig, which I got at PAX Aus 13, and it was mostly to do with the interaction with staff that came with it. I traded Coup for that one. Yeah, and I just have really fun memories of getting all of the East 13 pins at PAX, but this one particularly, I think I just really enjoyed. I love the art as well. And then, while it's not apparent at the moment because I have white hair, usually I'm a rainbow, and so the little elf unicorn is my spirit animal, and I will happily trade for unicorns all day.
most memorable pin, best associated with memories at PAX. So I could tell you heaps of pins that I really like the look of. But one of my favourite pins has to be the Oz Chandra from 2013. It stood for the first of a lot of things that I got to do that year. PAX Aus was more or less my first gaming convention that I've been to. But I stood in line with my brothers at the Magic booth, and we got to play around with Magic the Gathering together, which we haven't really done together, all three of us. And it's also the time that I met Michael Gary, who I really appreciate over the years. So yeah, Duckie. And since then, it's got me hooked into this engaging but albeit expensive hobby, and I met so many new people in this really great community.
There should be a photo of Ayefkay and his brothers with Mike and Jay. For some reason, I'm sure it's not showing it to you guys. It's a really nice photo.
A little bit.
I don't think they're going to be able to see it.
But
If I
the
could
guys
just-
up the back aren't going to see that.
Yeah, no.
How about you, Wasabi? What's your favourite?
Yep, mine would probably be the DSB merch. As I said, first pin was a merch, and yeah, leaving for work one day, and the delivery man shows up. I'm like, I'm not going to get to work on time. I'm going back inside with this. I only got about four or five boxes, and yeah, cracking this one open and having heard about it but not seen it, it's just awesome. So favourite pin, definitely DSB merch.
This is a non-Photoshop version of me with my favourite pin. There's only 300 of these made for one of the Penny Arcade's first or second Kickstarter. I think either way. I hadn't signed up at that point. But I actually got one of these and they did like a random merch bag, box bag at the end of the year 2 years ago. And they tweeted out that there was maybe one of these in there, so I thought it'd just be funny if I filmed myself opening them and then pretended that I didn't recognise it. And Lord, amazingly, I actually did get it. So it's not the fact that it's such a rare pin, it's just that memory associated with it, and I'll turn into a blind one day.
Cool. So I know some of you guys have been to other PAXs. How does that differ to what we have here? Is it is the pin community different? Is trading any different? Wasabi, where did you go last?
Yep, so we headed over to Prime, or West, what they call it now, just gone, and man, it's really quite different. Just even, it's great here how everything's in the two buildings and they're connected. Over at Prime, the main theatre is 4 blocks away from the main expo hall, and the expo hall takes up 2.5 different halls on different levels, and then different panels are held at different hotels all around the place. So not only do you just have to walk everywhere, you got to give us half an hour to get around town. You have to give yourself another 2 hours because Americans line up.
That sounds like work.
It's the biggest point of difference is at the US PAX, they line up like 2 hours beforehand. They go and just sit there for a panel. You're like, what are you doing? Why would you do that?
They actually get told at points they can't line up yet.
Yeah.
Like acquisition team, you're not allowed to line up more than 2 or 2.5 hours early. It's ridiculous.
Sounds like Oz 2013.
Actually, we were lining up before 8 to get in that hole. Yeah.
You might have to line up 2013 to get it.
Yeah.
But
True,
yeah, it
true.
definitely, I think Mike and Jerry commented
Tell
on
them
more than
that.
one occasion how much it blows their minds that Australians don't line up. Yeah, we don't buy our badges the second they go on sale like the US ones do, and so they're like, oh, hey, we still got a pin out of it. That's a good thing, right? Yeah. They're going like, these went on sale 2 months ago and they haven't sold many yet. What's going on? And yeah, but at the same time, I think they're trying to figure out ways to make people line up less, like do lines more like how we do lines over there. South is pretty comparable. It's really cruisy and chilled out, like PAX Aus is. East is really fun, but really full on, because the expo floor is just packed. It's huge and it's packed, and there's stuff set up in the hallways, and the hallways are packed, and, but it's a really good time.
Double stuffed PAX Aus.
Yeah.
So, what do I do with all these pins? Do you keep them in a box, like the fishfishmonkeyhat special? Or, how do you display them, Coop?
Well, for myself, actually, no, I want Fish to talk about the shadow boxes and frames. I'll just throw this at the end, maybe.
Yeah, shadow boxes are the most popular way if you are really serious about it. It's annoying. It's hard to find like shadow boxes you can just buy off the shelf in Australia. If you know a place that sells them cheaply, let us know.
Typo. They've got them at the moment, and they're scrapped from sections.
Alright, someone can make a note of that. Yeah, like I ordered a custom one. I got built myself. That cost me, like $200 or something. But you can see some examples here. Some people, I think these are
They're
from the States, aren't they? They get like custom. They get like all custom done by like the store does it. Puts all the pins in. They're putting like the comic the pins related to. And we also got some folders here.
Yeah, so the folders like just a little thing for myself. I get a bit OCD about it, and so I make up a little folder, and I have like Magic Gathering type, trading card slips, and then I get different coloured slips to sort of match up to each colour, say Prime. Also, so got Prime West or South or East or Oz. So just sort of as a visual sort of guide for me, sort of works for me. So, and if you're ultra keen, I've got a couple here at the end, so come and see me if you'd like one.
And he sent me one earlier in the year too.
Yeah, I know, you just threw it on the table, I think, and anyway, let's not get into it. It's okay.
Ayefkay
It's okay.
uses a different set of folders as well, which are really nice.
Yes, I'm also using folders. I'm actually
Just got this awesome folder from agentcooper that keeps spare pins in. Let's try it out.
Feigned disgust.
You're saying, Ayefkay, you use a different type of file?
Yeah, so I am William because they're the heavy, but I buy mine from this website called safepack.com, and they're really well designed, I think. Each page is like made out of velvet, and they've all been divided by plastic sheets, so that each pin doesn't rub against the back. You can fit at least 120 pins quite easily. So
I'd say that's like more archival. You want to put your ones you want to keep in there, and this is just like spares, maybe just for easy access. But I do the same thing for if they're not on a wall, they're in that. Yeah, it works well.
I'm really cautious about time and want to make sure that we have some time for some questions, but it's worth pointing out these May West bags. They're really, really nice.
Come find us.
Explaining your pins may have unintended side effects.
That was the first gen of the PAX trading bags.
Oh.
Yeah, there goes my OS 13 camera.
Yeah, we had a few pins that lost eyes.
Does someone have the PA bag here? I'm sorry, Blazer's got one? Yeah, one of those, yeah. I'll get one,
Basically, some of the screen printing was worn off if you use the official bag, so they're working on replacements at the moment.
Yeah, 3 years ago. They've been working on it.
They're working with Gabe Newell.
Soon.
So our animations aren't running real well. What else does the community do, guys?
Well, we had our pre-PAX dinner, which I imagine many of you were at. Definitely some familiar faces. If you didn't make it this year, definitely try to come next year because we love being able to hang out and meet everyone and eat food, that kind of thing.
Yeah, last year I think we had about 20, 25. This year we're up to 50, so it keeps growing, so keep coming, people.
Yeah. What else do we do there?
We make a lot of bad jokes.
Yeah. Sometimes we have in real life meetups. So I know that there was Every year we've had at least one of the US Pinny collectors come and visit Sydney, and so we've gone. I now have annual Sculptures by the Sea excursion with US Pinny pals.
TripAdvisor 4-star.
Yeah. And I know that the US Pinny pals organise like game meetups and all sorts of things. There's online gaming with Quiplash and whatnot. It's organised through Slack.
The trading table for you.
Yeah, the trading tables.
And of course, there's the community trade meetups that we have at PAX every day.
Saloon and the Ford organised community pins this year that look really, really nice. Little puppy pal. I've still got a couple left. If you don't have one more, come see me.
Yeah, I've got a few.
Giving them away.
Yeah. Shouldn't be too hard to find one.
No. So, we did promise you an exclusive Fishmonkeyhat PAX Aus exclusive find.
We've rehashed all lines until
It is
now.
going to be the last find.
Ever.
And I'm a little sad.
If this makes no sense to you, I'm not surprised.
I had to explain it.
We didn't say it would be good.
Now one is over.
It was promised exclusive, not good.
Some kind of correlation between these vines and vine closing.
No,
It's all your fault.
I was trying to keep it alive. I was only one you said at the end.
Good content, not more content. So on that note, I'd like us to run off script a little bit. So
We haven't been on script.
well, yeah, fair call. Has anybody got any questions? Let's go up there. That was a pretty quick hand up.
So can I see those hands again? Yeah.
Hi, good day. This is my first PAX and PAX panel, and I've enjoyed it, and it's very informative. My question is, we do encourage like trading to meet up with people and things like that, but like me, I'm like a first time to this kind of collectible trading, and is it ethical in this community that I just straight up a person like, do you sell that pin? Or it's much better if you like trade it, but because in my situation I don't have any pin, so it's very hard to start. If I just buy a pin from downstairs, it's very easy, but if I want a specific pin from someone, can I just like straight up offer them how much you sell it? Is it possible?
Can't, but people weren't necessarily, it's more about the trade and the personal interaction. Just because the only pins you have are, say, the show set from this year that you've bought, that don't feel deterred to ask for trades, like, because there's going to be a lot of people, me personally, I have every pin. So,
I've traded for 2 of the show sets this year instead of buying them, so.
yeah, trading is more about the interaction and like getting pins out. I want to help people like you, so if I have pins that you want, I don't have an attachment to them, and so I'm probably going to be happy to trade it to you if it's a fairly equal trade. So don't be scared to ask if they're willing to do a trade with you.
It is hard your first PAX as well.
Yeah, it is hard.
I mean, a lot of us are lucky that we went to 13 and the community's grown a lot since then. But if it's your first PAX, what I would say would be grab an extra show set or 2, grab as many of the extra third-party pins as you can, and start trading online. Get yourself some stuff built up that way. Even save a show set for next year, because people want the previous year's sets.
Yeah.
So,
we only have Alienware as a free pin, but one of the other things to not, if the cost is a bit prohibitive, try to get as many of the free pin as you can, and especially since the Alienware is a bit of a challenging one. If you get multiples, people will give you good trades for those pins.
I will happily trade for
Yeah,
Alienware.
I haven't bought any of the third-party pins from this PAX yet, so I need to trade for all of them. Come find me at trading this afternoon.
And the other thing is, a lot of us have Pinny pals. Generally we've got a friend either in Boston where that PAX is, or in Seattle, so we're going to be sending some pins back to them. So we're still happy to. Yeah, or South, yeah, or yeah. So we want to send the pins back. So yeah, we're happy to trade for extras for the current show.
So just adding to like one of the most common trades ever done is show set for show set.
Yeah.
So just because you think
where the online
it's
trading
like
really
super
comes
easy for
into
them
it.
to get theirs, and then you just swap basically.
And this Oz show set has to be the best one ever, and
Yes.
it'll be in demand for a long time. People will trade for it.
Next question.
Just wanted to say something to the guy who was just getting into pens. There's a couple of us in the community that have been really supported by the community, myself in question, and because of that we've got an influx of certain pens, especially the Sandy Armageddon set. And if you want, just come up to me after this panel, and I'm quite happy to give away any that I've got if you want them. I don't require a trade. Yeah.
Nice.
So there was a white glove down here, but
Be Jesse, right?
Hi, I came to your panel for the first time last year. I was Kitty Bride. Sorry, just a little intro. I just wanted to ask, from the previous PAX, there's been quite a number of free pins. Obviously, pin trading is very expensive. I wanted to find out, this year Alienware is the only free pin.
Yep.
Is it maybe free pins are fading out, or is there a way we could be getting or acquiring free pins in other ways?
no, so it's the bigger companies that tend to do the free pins. Australia, because we have a much larger indie gaming booth section, they use it to fund the games that they're developing, which is why you purchase them. So normally we have like Magic the Gathering last year, we had Twitch, which were the free pins, and again, those are the two big companies. So it's when they are big enough and viable that it's more about just drawing attention to their booth rather than needing to help fund their projects that you get the free pins. And so since there's so many more of those companies, the US PAX, they get so many more free pins than we do.
Is it like about, what you said, 15 or out of the 40, 15 would have been time sinks? Does that sound about right?
Is that a West?
West, sorry, yeah, that sounds about right, guys. It's something like that, yeah. Yeah, there's not many big companies, as you say.
I suppose when you put it in that perspective as well, like 14 out of 40 pins.
Yeah, or something like
they
that.
have
Yeah.
so many more in addition to that.
And they're damned if they do, damned if they don't sometimes. Like, oh, you made it so hard, can't I just buy one? Or, yeah.
The other thing is the free ones are generally the time sinks and some of the harder ones to get at the show. So if you can get your hands on them, they trade really well. You get multiple
Yeah.
out of that.
So speaking of free pins, there's actually kind of like, so you know near the main theatre where they're playing the Jackbox games?
Yes.
There's technically a second free pin there. You just need to be like super quick to try and join in their games, and if you win a game, or get like the most likes in what game you play, if you go there when there's members from the team there, they are actually giving away drawable pins. So if you've got time to waste, good place to go hide out.
I meant
Great,
to.
lovely.
Yeah. So yeah, that's outside main theatre.
Horrible sounding sounds.
Question. Over here?
I'm going to give some stuff away in a second, so maybe just one or two more.
How can you be sure that someone, say you get in contact with someone online or Pinny Pals, how can you be sure that they'll send you that pin before you send your pins? There's security.
So
That's a good question.
there's always a risk, like there's no guarantee, but the fact is that at this point we've had no problems in, two problems, sorry. In
We also got feedback
That's
since
in the last
you say,
year.
so.
There's two problems since this started in 2013, so it's a very, very low rate of issues.
It's okay, we found them and no one else.
Yeah. Yes, you.
They'll be taken care of.
So yeah, it is a bit of a trust exercise, but once you start doing it, you realize it's, yeah, and then get involved with Slack and things, like you'll find that people who are active are more likely to sort of respond to requests if you're new as well, like have that conversation and be involved in the community and that kind of thing. It sort of gives a sense of security as well, like vetting your trade partner.
Just to show how minor it is, I think it was my 88th trade that it was an issue, and it was just one pin, and I never heard back from them, and I hope they're okay. Probably something bad happened because it just doesn't happen. But yeah, I've done 88 before, and it was just one. So yeah, it's amazingly good actually.
Thank you.
And last question.
was just wondering what's the community opinion about using pin mash as a scale to just like, oh, I really want that pin, but I've got this pin, and I know it's like, what's your opinion about using that scale to measure if a trade is good, if you're okay with it?
It's an interesting tool, definitely, but at the end of the day, I think it just comes down to personal value. If they don't want, if you're trying to do a pin that you're not interested in, then it doesn't matter what it was on pin mash. Like they can say, well, this one's worth more. This is 5 levels above. You can say, well, that's great, but I don't want it. So.
But it's another tool on the kit bag.
And I think pin mash is also going to be more scaled for Americans as well. So stuff that you'll find here may be rated highly on pin mash, but there's heaps of them. Like last year's Oz set, the year before, there's still some of those floating around. And while Americans love them, we picked them up for $30 at merch. There's not that many of them around, but there's enough that they're not as rare as they should be, according to pin mash. So take it with a grain of salt.
It's really great when you go to the States, though.
If you know you're going to the States, stock up on Oz pins before you go.
You don't need clothing, just take these.
You can buy clothing. Cool. So let's give away some stuff. How many of these am I pulling out?
Just until the yellow bag runs out.
Just until the yellow bag runs out.
And so don't forget, get community training, 3:30 today, down, back of the queue hall. Come and say hello.
Do what you like. No, you're not allowed to keep them.
That's all right, just do one big one.
I think we should do individuals. Let's
Okay,
give some more stuff away.
First up, we have that PAX Aus slap bracelet, starting low.
Number 102.
102.
I swear it's not rigged.
2016 PAX Aus patch.
I swear I'm not going numerically. 103.
103.
Does anyone have ticket number 103?
You don't want it.
No? Oh, yes.
Next person gets double bonus. 133. What's Elspeth?
We've got an Elspeth.
2013. What number?
133. Early one? 6.
You tell me what let's see, what's the snake move?
Snake moves.
You again?
142.
42.
42.
131.
131.
These pins I don't have. Running away.
So,
What we got there?
The D&D ones.
Oh, nice.
Which one is it?
It's what on the side? Carrots. 22.
22.
What number wrong?
Good stuff we got in this bag.
if you're really keen for
This is
it,
great.
You want to start doubling
So for the new people, these
let's
are
start
all
with the pouch.
of the old Magic the Gathering pins from previous year's PAXs.
Well, chuck a
And
couple of D&D.
Well, let's see how the match one and
Wizards of the Coast.
101.
101.
No, redo.
No.
Congratulations, Isaac. Thank you.
The D&D hand champ or
Nice early.
What number am I? 120.
What was it? Which one was it? Was it team up or?
What are we looking at?
48.
Oh, it's soft hand over.
48.
That's one of the D&D ones.
Rage of Demons.
147.
147.
No one quiz me on what we're doing.
This one.
That's the
That's
That's
Oz
soft
Sarkin.
hand vault. That was, the Oz soft hand from 2 years ago.
32.
32.
Vanessa.
Vanessa. Or number
126.
126.
I'm only 123 numbers off.
No, 126.
I'll take it.
How about 31?
Yeah. I don't think we got time for more. I'll try
31?
and check them in.
Is that Chandra from East 2013?
That's East Chandra for 31.
Chuck in on link. Exclusive last year's linking.
That was one of the first pins of the lot.
Yeah. It is the first event like
That was it.
We've got the coloured challenger coin from that's PAX Aus this year.
127.
27.
Special thanks to Lime Dragonfly too for ferrying these pins over from the States as well.
and
They're donated.
doing
They're donated from Renfrew, but
So, massive
came
thank
from
you to Renfrew.
somewhere over there. Yeah.
104.
Thank you.
104, yeah.
We've got one more.
We've got the PAX East 2015 Challenge coin
Wow.
for
Number one.
number one. Who was first in? All I do is two lanyards together.
Two lanyards together. All right, last one. 132.
Who wants lanyards?
Nice. Empty now.